สุขสบายดีมีทางฟังรายการที่ว่ากำลังรับฟังนะตอนนี้อยู่ที่ 90.0 MHz หรือว่า Laoyouth Radio เนาะตอนนี้เป็นเวลา 4 โมงคันว่าเป็น 4 โมงของวันเสาร์วันอาทิตย์นี้ก็จะมาพบกันกับรายการของพวกเราเนาะก็คือ English Chit Chat นั่นเองซึ่งว่าจะมีแขกรับเชิญสุดพิเศษมาโอ้ล้มกันเกี่ยวกับหัวข้อต่างๆที่ว่าน่าสนใจเนาะมื้อนี้ค่ะว่าเห็นโปสเตอร์ไปแล้วเฮาก็จะฮู้เลยว่าแขกของเฮามื้อนี้นี่พิเศษอีหลีเพราะว่าเฮาสิมาเว้าเรื่องแฟชั่นเฮาบ่เคยเว้าเรื่องแฟชั่นกันเลยจักเทื่อแต่ว่ามื้อนี้สิเป็นอีหยังที่ว่าแตกต่างเนาะบ่แม่นว่าเป็นมีคอลเลคชันใหม่ออกมาเป็นแนวใดอีหยังประมาณนี้อัลบรีเองนี่ก็บ่ค่อยจะสันทัดเรื่องของแบบแฟชั่นพอปานใดเนาะแต่ว่ามื้อนี้เนื่องจากว่าเป็นรายการ English Chat ฉะนั้นขออนุญาตเว้าภาษาอังกฤษก่อนแล้วกันเนาะ so good afternoon ladies and gentlemen welcome back again to English Chit Chat so this is the first English Chit Chat of the month February and we have a very special guest with us so if you have seen the poster you will see the topic of today already we have never talked about fashion before so it's going to be quite an interesting session that we have her here with us today to talk about what is fast fashion really and what is slow fashion. Some people might ask like what is the difference between like another term fast fashion, slow fashion, fast fashion, a lot of things and why should we talk about it? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Areanna Handy. Welcome to our program.
Oh, thank you so much for welcoming me on your channel. I'm very excited.
Right. I'm excited too, actually.
So again, my name is Areanna Handy. I have been part of the fashion industry since I was really 16 years old.
16 years old.
Yes, it's been my biggest passion my whole life. So not my whole life, but most of my life.
Right.
And so I mainly started out as working for a major fast fashion company, Forever 21, if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, it's super I mean I remember seeing a video of it like how it started to grow rapidly and how it started to like decline because
this year it actually went into bankruptcy or end of 2019 actually
and it is because of the fast fashion so yeah
it is and it was really like an amazing store to work in and you see all the newest trends come in but it was always overstocked like it was the clothes were wonderful because you have every style imaginable and it was cheap it was very affordable for most people.
True.
And we always had new products coming in every single week. Every Thursday we had a new shipment like a whole truck full of shipment of clothes that would come in.
Wow.
And working in it was quite frustrating especially during holiday seasons you would see so many products coming in.
Right.
And I just was thinking like wow where do all these clothes go so like all this question was always in my mind and as I continued my studies in the fashion industry and I attended a semester at London College of Fashion.
Wow.
And it was all focused on sustainable fashion, slow fashion and this whole idea of how polluting and environmentally impact the fashion industry is and so I was like that's like my passion. That's the route I want to take because I think that's very important.
Wow. And when was that? Like back how many years back?
So I started working at Forever 21. This was when I was still a high school student. So this was all the way 2013. But I started my fashion journey into sustainable fashion 2015 and ever since then I have been keeping my focus on sustainability and environmental protection within the industry so
wow
so career wise took that route and here I am.
And I think a lot of our audience would like to know like what do you do here in Laos actually what kind of like activities the projects probably related to sustainable fashion fast fashion and please.
Right so I started an organization with a group of people called Fair Fashion Lao. It is a project that is focused on helping bring awareness on sustainability, environmental protection, and looking at how ethnic communities produce their clothes and seeing how we can look at the handicraft industry and kind of merge it with the fashion industry today.
Right.
And so go ahead.
Yeah, no, please. Yeah, that's why these terms, like, probably we go one by one.
Right.
You have talked and about fast fashion, about slow fashion, right?
Right.
The terms we have already brought up. But what is really fast fashion? if you could give definition for us to like understand it clearly.
It's a big question for sure. So fast fashion is what we say is fashion that is mass manufactured. Okay, so it's like running a race. Like if you're a sprinter and you run really, really quick, all right, you get the results quick. So fast fashion is, let's say you see a new trend. Okay, maybe Jennifer Lopez comes in a glittery dress. Or Beyonce, she's in a nice gold glittery dress or something like that.
All of us experience that.
Right, and then you see the trend come into a store about 3 weeks later. And it comes in a huge batch. Maybe they will have, if it's Forever 21, they will produce 2,000 for 3, 4, 5 different stores. 2,000 of the same similar product.
Right.
All right, and then somebody wears it. Maybe they only wear it for a short period of time. It could be 1 month, it could be 2 months. All right, but the clothes are produced cheaply. So that's the biggest thing. It's not only that the price tag is affordable and you might buy it for $12, $15. Here, equivalent, we could say 50,000 kip, 100,000 kip.
Now what you see there is like all for 8,000 kips.
8,000 kip,
So it's
even
already,
from the night market as well, right?
Yeah, it's already below $1.
Right, so it's very, very low. And so in the US, we would see something reflecting like $12. We say that's cheap. Here, 8,000 kip.
Yeah.
So we know it's like, okay, we look at the price tag, we're like, oh, I want this. Like, it's so affordable. Like, I can buy 10 of these. I could go on a major shopping spree. But then you have to look at the real cost of it. What is the true cost? When we look at that, we see one thing is it's a high economies of scale, which means the factory is producing a lot of the same product, making it very affordable for most people. And then 2, the product is made cheaply. So you're not going to be able to wear it as long as something that you might get handmade. So slow fashion is taking a slower route for it. It is go ahead.
No, please.
It is producing clothes slowly. So instead of it being made in a factory, it might be made by an artisan instead. If it is made by a factory, they take a slower process where the stitches are in alignment, that they know they're going to get the highest quality from the fabric, from the way it's overall produced, from the dyes, from even like the finishes that you would have on the fabric to keep it as long lasting in your closet as possible. So that's the difference, is that one might be a higher price, slow fashion will be a higher price, but you can keep it in your closet for longer.
Right.
Where fast fashion is something that you might buy based on a trend that you see happening, or because you have a one-off event that you want to go to, so you buy something cheap, you take it, you wear it, and then most people, what we're seeing most consumers do is throw the product away after they're finished. So it's not a product that they like truly love. It's just something they want for that moment, where slow fashion is a different approach to that.
This is why like a lot of young people would say like, I cannot wear the same clothes, like twice or like 3 times.
Right.
Because if other notice me, it's going to be like, oh, I'm out of the trend, or like this kind of thing, right?
Right. Big. That's a huge point to hit on. And especially with Instagram and Facebook, when we had the outfit of the day trend happening, which is still going
outfit of the
on.
day.
Outfit of the day. People will take a picture of the outfit and they say, oh, we can't wear this product. We can't wear this outfit again, or we can't wear this shirt again, because people already saw it on social media. And it's actually a consumer study that was done that showed people would take a product, they wear it for Instagram, and then they don't want to wear it again because people already saw it.
Right.
And so that is also a huge issue we have to think about, is people are wanting more and more and more different styles to look different, to show a different aspect and beauty of themselves, but they're not realizing the cost that clothes have on the environment.
Right. And talking about that, though, it's about mindset, right, Areanna?
Right.
So what would you say that would be something that like people who are like this, who are changing their clothes very fast, or they like they can't wear the same clothes for so many times, what would be the first thing that they can do really to change this behavior?
Oh, that's a really great question. So well, everything about this, as you said before, is about the mindset of the person, right? And I think one thing we could do is think about, for one, how much is it a hassle for that person? Okay, if I were to say for me, I'll just reflect back on me. When I had so many clothes, I would think about how often do I have to do laundry, how organized my closet has to be, like, am I overstuffing my drawers right now? Like, I have so many hangers right now, and I don't have enough to hang up all my clothes. So then you have to think about, okay, how much, like, is this being a burden on my own self when I'm buying more and more clothes? And then filtering out all those clothes, you're like, okay, I want to throw this away, I want to throw this away. Okay, maybe we should recycle it instead. So thinking about just downsizing. Do you, if you have a product in your, or something in your closet that you don't wear often, maybe it's time to just go ahead and give it away instead of having that attachment and holding on to it.
And you
just
don't
because
wear
you
it
like
anyway.
you see it, you're like, oh, I want to keep it. I don't know when I'm gonna wear it again, but I want to keep it. So maybe it's about time that you just say, somebody else might need it more than me. And then you let go of that attachment and you start regularly filtering out your closet just to have the items that you know you're going to regularly wear.
Right. And Areanna, I think something that I have seen as, a big problem as well, probably not here in Laos because we don't have like so many big brands that we have mentioned, right? But there's this like sale season at every the end of the year or like every season, right? So there would be like a big sale, like you have said. Somebody, like, it happened to me again, like when I was young as well, that you run into something very cheap, but you don't really like it, but like you can wear it probably to some occasions, and the size actually doesn't like match your size, but you buy it anyway and you never wear it, right? So it's also another problem that you see something cheap and you just want to buy it.
Right, because it's cheap and because you like it, and we always want something new, right? That's like change is a permanent thing in our lives, so we always want something new to embrace and to have. But like I encountered the same thing, especially when it comes to shoes. I do have a weakness for shoes. Like if I see a pair of shoes and I'm like, oh, these are a cute pair of heels, I wear it a couple times and the heel breaks, and it's like, no, like, oh, something breaks on it. And that's something I think is really important to think about when we're shopping. One big point is, when you're shopping for that item, you're like, oh, I could spend $5 on it, or I could spend $5 on it and maybe a hole or a seam will bust and I'm not going to know how to fix it, or I'm not going to like it after maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times of wearing it. I won't like it as much. And you think about that. You're like, okay, maybe I could just save my $5, all right? And the more I save it, maybe I'll be able to purchase something that will last me a long time, that I actually have an attachment, a love for, and I'm going to want to have in my closet for 5-10 years, which, yeah, big one.
Nice. No, and talk about the steps though, like, we talk about the brands, all the shops, but it's not a case here really in Laos, right? We don't have those brands store yet, but probably they are coming. So probably we talk about what we have here in Laos. What kind of like shopping behavior that is considered, fast fashion and it's not sustainable, and on the other hand, what people can start doing like step by step, or probably like a checklist to think, before buying this shirt, before buying this skirt. What would be the checklist that you want people to like slowly think before buying a piece of clothes?
Okay, that's a great question. So I would say, in terms of to make it relatable to here, would be the night market. As much as like I do love walking through the night market, I do love seeing what comes in.
Right.
But a night market is one of the big target areas where a possibility of majority of the clothes does come from the same factories as fast fashion companies. And so but the thing is it's not traceable. One important thing when you're trading products is that we usually have what we say a care label inside of our products, and it will tell us the factory that it's made in and the country it's made in. And if you go to the night market, you'll notice that a lot of the products don't have that. It doesn't have the material.
Right.
It doesn't have where it comes from.
Right.
But we can say based on what the products look like, the quality of it, the style, the trend of it, that it is coming from fast fashion factories. It could be a factory that is producing for something like, for a company like Forever 21 and H&M, and then they have extra products that they come and outsource here. So that is, I think, one of the main areas that I would think is most relatable. The products are very, very affordable, I would say, and some of them are very cheaply made. So that is in terms of fast fashion. Where slow fashion would be our handicraft producers. It would be something like our companies like Her Works, Saban, Updog, Matasai, shops like that, who work closely with artisan ethnic community villages who are weaving the products, hand making the products, maybe by a weaving loom. They're also using things like cotton, hemp, linen, even I've seen some bamboo products as well, and they're hand making that. That would be considered our slow fashion here in Laos.
Right. Talking about that though, like you just say like the handcraft or handmade, you know, clothes, the clothes that is made for yourself, right? And it came into my mind that some people could say that, but I don't have money. Like how can I afford, you know, those shops that you mentioned? I need to buy something that it's like affordable for me.
Right.
But before thinking about it in the past, almost all of us, you know, we wear the clothes that it's like made for ourselves. Would you like share some experience or your thoughts about this as well?
Oh, okay, great question. So, part of slow fashion, that's a big one, is that one of the best approaches to slow fashion and to what's the word? Not contributing as much to fast fashion companies and to this industry is getting clothes made for yourself specifically, because that means that you have one person is making an outfit just for you versus a dress that you might find that has 50 to 100 of the same dress. You have one outfit just for you. It's made specifically for your body. It's also tailored, which means that the quality is going to be a lot higher. And you can take it back to the tailor to get adjusted as well, for the most part. So,
yeah, because you can get, you know, chubbier.
Right, true, very true. And it is an investment. I would say that it is an investment, but also at the same time, you might end up paying the same amount. Because when you are buying something that's cheaper, you buy it more regularly, right?
True.
You keep buying it, and then you have to throw some things out, or hopefully you're donating it, which is what we're wanting to do, recycle and donate our clothes. But you're instead you're saving that money just for those stable products that you need. That it could be wearing maybe like black more often, or blues, or having just a stable wardrobe instead of I need the newest trend, I'm going to keep buying and buying and buying more often.
Right.
But it's cheaper per item versus I'm going to save up just for this one nice outfit that I know is going to last for a while.
Right. Totally agree, because at the end of the day, you do some calculation like, okay, this year how much did I buy, and probably compare to if I don't buy cheap stuffs, but I buy something that is quite pricey, but I don't have to buy as many times, right? Well, that could be a very good thing that we can like start from,
right? And the second approach I would say is secondhand shopping. Secondhand shopping, because that, like, it's affordable, but you also know, okay, yeah, maybe somebody else had it, but it's staying into this cycle. It's not being thrown away. It is not in a landfill. It's not being disintegrated in any way or dumped into a different country. Instead, okay, we can wear it again. And you can not only, just have this recycled product like for instance, I have a denim jacket that I found secondhand, and I just went ahead. I went to the tailor. I wanted it specially like for me, so I just bought some extra fabric and had like a patch sewn on the back. And so I could show that later. But
yeah. We have second break. We can like show a lot of things, and we can talk about your dress as well.
And your dress.
I like every time we meet, I have a compliment for your outfit. I was like, I love your outfit. Almost all the time that we meet. Right. Since you talk about landfill just now, I really want to discuss about the impacts. We have talked about how like that is it bad, but how is it bad to both the local economy and also the environment.
Okay, great. So actually I have some facts and figures. So I'll just share a few of them. So 8 to 10% of greenhouse gas emissions come from the fashion industry
8
annually.
to 10. 80%.
8 to 10%.
8 to 10%?
8 to 10%.
Okay,
right. So, and that's quite a big chunk just from green gas emissions from the fashion industry as a whole. And that comes from the entire supply chain. That comes from the farming production to making the fabric to it being sewn together and shipping it out into a retail store. So all that entire process. Another one.
Wow.
It's quite a large number, I would think. And
so thinking about it, it's not just okay. Is it sold in my night market, and it's just there. It has been from the cotton field from Africa probably, and travel all the way to Bangladesh to be.
Right. It could be from India as well. India produces a lot of cotton as well. Turkey. I think we talked a little bit about that before. So. Absolutely. Like it can come from all these different areas, and you have to think about that transportation. Like, oh, how much transportation is this gas emissions as well. So,
yeah.
That's one. 80 to 150 billion garments are produced a year annually. So, just think about that. Like, okay, 80 to 150 billion. And we have to wonder, like, why do we need to keep producing more clothes? And we have landfills that are full of clothes, so why do we keep producing more and more and more and more and more? And it's just this trend of overconsumption right now, wanting the newest thing. And 3/5 of those clothes that are produced end up in landfills or disintegrated, destroyed. So you have to think, like, that's a lot of clothes just sitting out in the world somewhere that most of the time when it comes to fast fashion as well, I should mention, is that the clothes are made with synthetic fabric. So it could be nylon. It's made with chemicals. So nylon, some of your polyesters, they're all made with just man-made chemicals.
Right.
So actually when they sit in a landfill, they don't break down.
No.
It takes a very, very long time to break down. Sometimes 100 to 500 years for that to break down into the environment. Where something like cotton or our hemps or our linens and even rayon, which is a cellulosic fiber, will actually biodegrade into the environment. So those are good products because we know even if we throw them away, it's still going to biodegrade in the environment, where something made from chemicals won't.
Right. So it's not just to think about the price anymore, but the origin and how where is it going to be ended up with after you used it already, the landfill, and how is it going to be like in the landfill, like Areanna just said. I think the other day in the mall, I was like looking at all the clothes, and I was like, are we really going to wear all of these? Because it's a lot. It's a lot of it, and I don't think people who like come to the mall would, like the numbers would, like as much or as many as the clothes that we have produced. And I don't know where it ends up. Oh, yeah, and how about like those, in stock that they cannot sell?
Clearance.
The clearance.
Yes,
like how do the companies proceed with that?
So most companies, I would say, most branded companies will clearance the items. So if they see that there's a large stock and it's just not selling, they'll put it on clearance, maybe 50% off. That's where you'll see the buy one get one free ads, or 80% off. And then most of all, the big sales like Black Friday, 11/11, which is Singles Day, I think. Right, so we have those key days for selling products. They will put huge discounts on to clear out all of that extra stock. But there's a lot of companies that will, maybe if it's something like H&M or Gap or Forever 21, if they see another store is selling it, maybe in one country is selling this product very well and this country is not, they ship those products to the other country to sell it.
I
right? So that's if you're a big brand and you can keep moving things around. The other route is to take it to maybe a consignment shop, which would be I don't know any examples of consignment shops here in Laos. Maybe, but are you familiar with Ross? Ross is a consignment shop. All right, so it's like kind of like a discount store, and they ship it there.
Every brand
instead.
is there.
Yeah, TK Maxx, TJ Maxx, things like that. They'll ship it over. Or there's quite a few options of what they do with those products.
I think before going for a break, and we will talk more about Fair Fashion Laos, which is quite a cool organization here. I would say I attended one event. At that time, I didn't know you yet. So I will talk more about that, right? Before going to that, I would like to ask for you to maybe share your suggestion to those who are watching us right now, and they have a closet that full of these, sale clothes, all of the fast fashion products. Okay, if I want to change now, what do I do? Do I have to throw all of these and clear all of my wardrobe and then buy something like slow fashion, or what should I do with the clothes that I have before I starting off like a new chapter of fashion?
Well, I would say for that, the most important thing about this whole topic is trying to keep your clothes. So not wanting to just throw it all away. It's quite a process. It's called like conscious living. Keeping those products still in your closet, finding new ways to wear it though. So maybe you're tired of this t-shirt. Okay, maybe we could do a DIY. YouTube is loaded with awesome ways that you can change a t-shirt into maybe a workout t-shirt instead. You can cut it up into a tank top. You can make it into a tote bag. There's loads of different things that you can do with a t-shirt, for example. So instead of just thinking about getting rid of all of it, it would be instead, how can you wear it and reinvent your own styling, your own personal style? Because you want to keep those clothes still, because if we do throw it away, it's adding to the problem, right? And then you slowly start to add on to, okay, maybe I'm going to invest on my next product will be something that's handmade, or that will come from one of these key shops that we'll talk about after the break. But I think the most important thing is not just throwing it away and clearing out your closet so you could start again, but how can you refresh what is already in your closet, which is what we call upcycling.
Yeah, that is very cool. And that's what we wanted to do, right? In the next few months together, right?
Right.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, and if there's those products that you just really can't wear again, or you feel like you just can't upcycle again, sometimes we have those weird attachments to clothes. Like, you lose that emotional attachment,
joy.
Right? Like, I had a few items where I'm like, oh, I remember like this happened that day, and I just don't want to wear this product again because it reminds me of that day. Then you can take that product and recycle it, donate it. There's loads of donation drives that are always looking for clothes, especially here in Laos. So that's another.
Right. I think it's time for going for a break, but let me conclude a bit in Lao probably, because the topic that we're talking about today is very, very interesting. Right. โดยอันน่ะมื้อนี้เนาะก่อนที่ว่าจะไปเบรกก็สรุปให้หน่อยนึงว่ามื้อนี้นี่เฮาเว้าเรื่องของ fast fashion กับ slow fashion หรือว่าเป็นการนุ่งเครื่องแฟชั่นเฮานี่แหละแต่ว่าเฮ็ดแนวใดให้มันยืนยงขึ้นกว่าเก่าเนาะเฮาเว้าถึงเสื้อผ้าของแบรนด์ต่างๆที่เฮาอาจจะฮู้จักกันดีเช่นว่า Forever 21 H&M หรือว่าสิ่งที่เฮาเห็นอยู่ตามตลาดเฮานี่แหละเนาะเช่นว่าทุกอย่าง 8,000 ทุกอย่าง 12,000 จังซี่แม่นอยู่มันถูกแล้วมันก็สามารถเฮาซื้อได้แต่ว่าอันความเป็นจริงแล้วเสื้อผ้าเหล่านั้นมันมีวิธีการผลิตที่ว่าบ่ยืนยงเนาะเช่นว่าผลิตอยู่ในบรรดาโรงงานต่างๆที่อาจจะส่งผลเสียต่อทางธุรกิจของพื้นถิ่นแน่แล้วก็ทางด้านของสิ่งแวดล้อมแน่ฉะนั้นแล้วเฮาจึงอยากมาส่งเสริมว่าให้เป็นการสนับสนุนหรือว่านำใช้ slow fashion หลายกว่าก็คือเป็น slow fashion ก็คือเป็นสิ่งที่เฮ็ดอยู่ในบ้านเรือนเฮานี่แหละเนาะเช่นว่าอยู่นี่กันนครหลวงเวียงจันทน์เฮ็ดมาจากคอตตอนหรือว่าเฮ็ดมาจากเขาเอิ้นว่าหยังผ้าฝ้ายจังซี่เนาะที่เป็นผ้าฝ้ายพื้นเมืองอีหยังต่างๆจะช่วยเฮ็ดให้เฮาหั่นเฮ็ดให้การที่ว่าเฮานุ่งเครื่องจังซี่เนาะมันยืนยงหลายขึ้นตัวอย่างเช่นคือ Areanna เพิ่นเว้าเนาะว่าการที่ว่าเฮาใส่เสื้อผ้าแบบที่ว่าเป็น fast fashion นี่มันส่งผลเสียต่อสิ่งแวดล้อมหลายเช่นว่า8-50% ของก๊าซ ก๊าซคาร์บอนไดออกไซด์เนาะที่ว่าเขาปล่อยขึ้นอยู่ในชั้นบรรยากาศนี่ก็มาจากการผลิตเสื้อผ้านี่แหละซ้ำบ่นำอันน่ะเสื้อผ้าเนาะที่ว่าผลิตนี่ส่วนหลายเลยแม่นจะไปอันน่ะอยู่ในแลนด์ฟิลหรือว่าบ่อนถมที่เหยื่อพุ่นเนาะซึ่งบางอันก็แม่นใช้แป๊บเดียวบางอันก็ยังบ่ได้ใช้แล้วก็ประเภทของอันน่ะเขาเอิ้นว่าประเภทของเสื้อผ้าหันก็เป็นอันน่ะประเภทผ้าที่ว่าบ่สามารถจะย่อยสลายได้ตามธรรมชาติเนาะเช่นว่าพวกผ้าฝ้ายต่างๆของบ้านเฮาเองนี่แหละที่ว่ามันยืนยงเดี่ยวระยะหน้าเขาจะมาเว้าเติมเกี่ยวกับนี่แหละสิ่งที่เพิ่นเฮ็ดอยู่ก็คือว่า fashion lounge เนาะ but now allow us to take a break a little bit no what song that you want to request for our guests no for our audience today you're the guest
I would say let's see something by Areanna
yeah why
why because she brought us together I would say in a way she reunited us
yeah we know each other because Areanna no so we'll shout out to her and probably talk about the project that we are going to
work on next
yeah right so let me choose a song she has a lot of famous song though but I like the most this one ฮักต้องใช้เวลา the meaning is that love requires time
that's very true time
is
everything
yeah we're talking about time too fast and slow it's like slow love okay
slow love
more sustainable okay. We'll see you after the break
it works in every area
bye Welcome back to the second break of English Chit Chat. Today we are with Areanna Handy, yeah, from Fair Fashion Laos, the most gorgeous fashion show that I never attend fashion show event.
Oh, okay,
except
so we can't say most gorgeous yet. We can't say
no,
but thank you, I appreciate it.
No, but I mean, I feel like oh, this is fashion show and the best thing on top of that is that it's sustainable. It's about something that, you know, you want to convey to people that, okay, this is the way that it should be. Right. Okay, I think we should start. So what is Fair Fashion Laos? And sometimes we hear about the name, Fashion Revolution. So what are the two, how are they related and how are they related to what you are doing?
Okay, very good. So Fair Fashion Laos was a project that we started through Alumni Engagement Innovation Fund, which is a project through the U.S. Embassy. You can apply for the grant, and if you win it, you get the opportunity to launch your own project. And so ours was focused on economic development and prosperity.
Right.
And so the idea behind it was that we wanted to we were doing some research here and looking at the handicraft industry and then also looking at the growing fashion industry and looking at all the different merchant partners as well, who could be companies like Salbon who are selling handicraft products. And so we were like, okay, there's these three different groups going on. How can we build this bridge between all three? So the idea of this project was to have 10 young designers and do a design competition, but they can only use fabrics that were made in Laos, working with some of these merchant partners. So for example, we have one young designer that is working with something like Salbon, and Salbon is working with numerous ethnic community villages to produce these fabrics. So we wanted to have this transparent supply chain where we know that the overall products are just being solely made in Laos, and that all of the money from these outfits is also going back into the local community. So that was the idea. Instead of looking at getting fabrics that might be from Vietnam or Thailand that you can also find at the morning market, how about we look at fabrics that are only produced solely in Laos? And not just, and beyond that, looking at products that use natural dyes, traditional techniques, it could be traditional designs within it, and how can we implement that into the growing fashion industry. So that was our project initiative, and if you got to see that.
Yeah, I think I have seen the media PR of that the project. How many years ago?
This was the past year, 2019.
Past year, right? Okay,
yeah,
right.
2019. So.
I thought it was like 2 years ago. That's why.
A few people said that to me, and I was like, yeah. Actually, no. It was April. From April to May. April till June were our main events. We had a few fashion shows. We did a women's empowerment luncheon because we wanted to address all the different women that are working in the fashion industry, the garment industry as a whole, really. And then we had workshops for our young designers. And so it was a little bit of a different approach because we wanted workshops that were focused on natural dyeing techniques, why sustainable fashion is important, looking at zero waste techniques, which means like if you have like a row of fabrics, you're going to use that entire piece of fabric. Instead of cutting out like for a sleeve or you're going to cut out for pants, you use that entire piece of fabric because what happens is when you cut it, you have a bunch of extra fabric that sometimes people throw away or they don't really know what to do with it. So looking at how can we use that whole row and make it into a new piece.
Right. And the fashion show that I didn't like attend it as the but I was there. So how was it, and how was the feedbacks of the people who attend?
The feedback was really good. It was very positive, and it was actually quite exciting because it was a huge educational opportunity. A lot of people didn't really know what sustainable fashion was, what fashion revolution is, which is what I'm about to talk about next.
Right.
And why fair fashion matters was a big thing is because fair fashion was really important because we want to make sure that people in the supply chain are getting paid fairly for their work. So if somebody is making the fabric, we know that they're getting paid a fair wage for that. And even though not all companies are doing that, we want to bring in that idea to make sure that we're looking at our supply chain and saying, hey, like, I know that we could get this roll of fabric for X amount of dollars. Most times if you're a designer or if you're a buyer or if you're working for a company, you're trying to get the lowest price, right? Because you want to make as much profit as possible. But when you're doing that, you have to make sure, are the workers, the garment workers, the people making the textiles, getting paid fairly? And that was why we said Fair Fashion Lao. We wanted sustainable, ethical, conscious, and environmentally friendly fashion.
Right. So Fair Fashion Laos, I think if you want to follow and see what Fair Fashion Laos is doing, so
follow our Facebook page.
Facebook page, it's Fair Fashion Laos, right?
At Fair Fashion Lao.
โดยเนาะถ้าว่าอยากจะติดตามเบิ่งกับ Fair Fashion Laos เลย So what's the major things that you are doing now?
Okay, so right now, so we our main project partner is Fashion Revolution, so I'll just all right, so actually after we started the project, we were able to collaborate with Fashion Revolution, and this has become it has become our main theme because a lot of the messaging, the key message and the key idea that we had for Fair Fashion Lao, Fashion Revolution was already doing, but they do it throughout the world. And so the cool thing about Fashion Revolution is that there's over 150 offices throughout the world. 150. 50. It's growing really big. And so we were able to start the Lao branch here through the Fair Fashion Lao project. And so you see like Fashion Revolutionary, it's like, okay, what is it? Basically, we are looking at how to make the industry more sustainable, how we can make it more transparent. And by transparent, it is, we want to know who made my clothes is our main message. So if we say who made our clothes, we're not just asking who the designer is or who the brand is. We want to know who the people in the factories are. What do they look like and under what conditions are they working under? And really this came about, I could just open the book. You see it? It's from...
Only from here.
Okay, from here. All right. You'll see that this is a factory that collapsed in Bangladesh. And so this factory had numerous brands from even Adidas, from Nikes, from H&M, a lot of brands were contracted to have this factory make their clothes, make their shoes. But in April 24th, 2013, which is Fashion Revolution Week, because of this, the factory collapsed and it killed over 1,100 people. And so we look at that and we're like, whoa, there's so many brands who were working with this company. Why were they not looking at the conditions of the factory? There was a lot of complaints by the workers. The managers weren't listening to them. There was also some other social issues that were happening within that factory as well. They weren't being listened to.
Right.
And when we look at big brands who are profiting so much from their clothes and they're not paying attention to what's happening in the factories that they're contracted with, it's a big problem.
It's not fair at all.
It's not fair. Exactly. That's what, it's not fair. It's
That's
unfair. And it's sad. So many people had to lose their lives just for making our clothes. And that's why we say, look at the true cost of fashion. It's like, if you see something for $3, you should question it. Be a little bit skeptical. Like, okay, if this is $3, how much is the worker who made this getting paid? And so that is a huge one. So we actually have in here, which I did share this on our Fair Fashion Lao Fashion Revolution page. You'll see the cost breakdown of a t-shirt.
Ooh.
And you'll see that labor, that you see, okay, this is the retail markup. You think it can be small? No, probably not. Okay, I'm going to share this on our page.
Yeah, is there any like digital?
There is a digital version.
Yeah, we can share on the comment
the
section
page.
as well.
Yes, and so you'll see like the retail markup is a huge part of the t-shirt, but actually labor accounts for just a very, very small percentage. You can see all the way at that bottom, that small red line is the cost of labor for a t-shirt. So you think, okay, they're not getting paid as much as they probably should be getting paid for how much we pay for our clothes.
Right. Probably we can share this again,
Right,
เนาะ
absolutely.
in Lao a bit probably
Yes.
โดยเขาบอกถึงแบบว่าคนที่ว่าเฮ็ดเวียกอยู่ในโรงงานที่ว่าผลิตเสื้อผ้าราคาถูกแล้วหั่นเนาะอันที่จริงแล้วเขาเจ้าได้เงินหลายปานใดแล้วเขาเจ้าได้ผลตอบแทนที่ว่าดีเพียงพอหรือบ่เฮากลับมาเบิ่งอยู่ในนี่อยู่ในปึ้มนี่ที่ว่าเฮาจะแบ่งปันหรือว่าแชร์ในต่อไปเนาะในอนาคตอาจจะในคอมเมนต์นี่แล้วกันในเพจของเพิ่นก็คือว่านี่เนาะเป็นเสื้อราคา29แต่ว่าอันในนี่เนาะอันนี้แม่นอันน่ะเป็นเขาเอิ้นว่าเงินที่ว่าทางแบรนด์หรือว่าทางอันน่ะบริษัทได้แต่ว่าอันน้อยๆเหล่านี้เนาะเช่นว่าตัวน้อยๆที่สุดนี่ก็สิแม่นเงินที่คนที่ว่าผลิตหรือว่าคนที่ว่าอยู่ในโรงงานหันได้นั่นเองเฮาต้องเบิ่งนั่น Yeah exactly like when we go for a shop probably like these pair of shoes or this dress can make us happy for like several days but we have to think back like to the people who make it really the conditions that they work and I mean I have seen people working in a factory as well and it's like you know doing same stuffs every day it's already
it's robotic
stressful
almost, you know?
Yeah, it's already like stressful. It's already even though the factory itself is in a good condition. But yeah, I think it's fair enough to see if what they are gaining from it's really fair for them.
And we could think about like the analogy of somebody who's just making food to make money, right? If you go to a restaurant and somebody's just making food to make money, you taste it, maybe it doesn't taste as good as home cooking, right? But home cooking is cooked with a little bit of love. Like,
Right.
you know, maybe it's like your mom or your dad is cooking it a little bit with love. Same thing with clothes. Where if somebody's making it and it's under conditions that are negative conditions, you're wearing that on your body, you know? It's like, it's also an energy thing. Like, if we were to think about yoga or spirituality or something, go deep into that realm, you have to think, we're wearing all that negative energy on our body versus maybe if we were to wear a product by an artisan who might be happy at home making their product at their own pace. Maybe at their own pace or at least they're in their own home environment and they're able to make their products. It's going to be more with love. And when you wear the product, it creates an emotional attachment, right? And you're like, okay, I feel good in this outfit because I know that the conditions were well.
And people who made it are happy. And so I'm happy to wear it. And it reminds me of a post that like a lady who bought a pair of pants from a shop and she actually found a note in a pocket from from the worker saying that like they have been worked for many hours per day and that's kind of thing is very sad to see and you wouldn't want to wear that pair of pants.
Right, and there are pros and cons to it too with the factory conditions. It's like we have arguments that okay, well the people in the factories chose to live their life like this. They chose to work 14 to 18 hours a day to produce our clothes, which is mainly going to the Western world. And then we had to look and we had to think, is that really their choice?
Okay, so I think that's a good enough message for today.
Right, very heavy.
No, but I mean, like, we still have about 8 minutes. So probably mention a bit about what is coming next, what kind of activities, projects that people, especially like who are interested to join, not just to listen to us, but to be a part of this action. How can they join and what kind of projects that we should expect to see next from Fair Fashion Laos?
Yes, okay, so a few things that we're wanting to plan we have in motion is April is Fashion Revolution Week. So that is our main week that we want to launch our events. And so we are looking at doing a global swap party. So almost all the fashion revolutions, I'm so excited around the world are doing this.
I love it.
And so it's an idea of secondhand, bringing all the clothes that you don't wear anymore. Again, we asked earlier, what can we do with those extra clothes? Global swap party. So if you have extra products, you have extra clothes, save it until the end of April. We plan to have an area where people can bring in all their clothes and they trade products with someone else. So you've done a global swap party or swap
but it's
party
not
as well?
Yeah, it's like a mini event. So we set up in a coffee shop. So and we like make a promotion a week or a month before. I think we have done like 3 times. And it's not a big one, but probably it's just for to send out the message of the people who come. Like because
it's still a new concept, I think, here to wear secondhand. In America it's quite big.
So the first time that I did, I have seen people really took the clothes and the shoes back home, and I was already happy because I didn't expect anyone to want to wear something second-handed. And what else? Sorry.
That's really good. So I should mention our project that we're also working on, which is a social media campaign and series of online videos. You want to talk a little bit about it?
You.
Okay. So we're doing a three series, three video series. Okay. And the first video we're doing is over fast fashion. So we will talk more about fast fashion. We're going to explain it in a simple way, all in Lao, with a little bit of animation so we can look at what is the supply chain of fast fashion, what happens to the clothes afterwards, trying to define it more to what fast fashion companies do, who are they, and what type of solutions are there to maybe avoid overconsumption and being a little bit more conscious and aware of how much we are buying.
And please stay tuned for that. It's coming soon. So
very
maybe
soon, actually.
You'll see on the page of Fair Fashion Laos and the other like eco practices related. And I will be sharing as well, right? Before going to the last session, I didn't tell you about this. This is a surprise. So this is a super challenging question. So choose one. It's going to be in Lao though, but you can try reading in Lao.
Super challenging.
No.
Put me on the spot.
I'll read and
my
I'll
classes
answer.
start soon.
It's like a Miss Universe. We call it like that. Miss Universe questions.
Okay.
So your question is ท่านเคยมีบ่ ความฝันอันใหญ่ๆที่หลายๆคนอาจคิดว่ามันเป็นไปบ่ได้ดอกแม่นหยังokay. Have you ever had a dream, probably a big dream, that a lot of people told you that it's impossible and what it is? Or maybe something related, something similar.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Sorry for throwing it at
that's a big dream. Okay, that is a big question. Yes, the answer is yes. I have had actually more than one big dreams that people have told me were impossible. And let's see. One of them is, I guess, how do I explain this? I've never shared this out loud, actually.
Okay, you can
so
choose
this is
not
about
to.
be a
don't
new
worry.
one. It's okay. Yeah, this is okay. Was the idea to have a shopping center that is filled with fair fashion brands. That's filled with sustainable brands, sustainable fashion brands. It's still a dream in my head. Don't know if it will happen, but that has been something that people said was impossible because they say, who's going to go shopping there? Everything's going to be too expensive and the investment and da-da-da-da-da. But
I feel like we need that in Laos and in every country in the world.
In every country in the world. It just to promote it and to show there are so many ethical and sustainable brands that are popping up everywhere. And so just to put that all in one place and have a retail space for that instead of a shopping mall that is full of fast fashion brands.
Well, we are looking forward to seeing it.
That is a dream. It's gonna happen.
It will happen. It will happen.
It is part of my divine destiny.
Wow, Areanna, I think we're running out of time. Thank you very much for coming today, for giving us a time on your weekend to spend your time with us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. ขอบใจ
ขอบใจเนาะและขอบใจท่านผู้ชมท่านฟังหลายๆ Thank you very much for watching us and listening to us today. If you have anything that you're interested in about what we talked about, feel free to go to the page Fair Fashion Laos. Click follow, click like, and then you will see what's are the events and the projects, activities that are coming, no? And for today, our time is up, no?
Right.
So thank you very much, and we'll see you again probably tomorrow, probably at the same time, 90.0 megahertz Laoyouth Radio เนาะสำหรับมื้อนี้ขอลาไปก่อนเนาะขอบใจท่านผู้ฟังท่านผู้ชมหลายๆตอนนี้วลีแล้วก็ Areanna ต้องขอจากลาไปก่อนเด้อแต่ว่ายังอยู่กันต่อตอน 5:00 นกับ6:30 นเนาะอยู่กันกับวลีนี่แหละแต่ว่าจะบ่ได้ไลฟ์แล้วเป็นรายการที่ 90.0 อยู่วิทยุเปิดมาฟังกันเนาะจูนมาฟังกันถ้าใครอยากจะเรียนรู้ภาษาอังกฤษคำศัพท์ใหม่ๆฝึกไปนำกันสำหรับมื้อนี้เนาะขอลาไปก่อนเนาะ Goodbye
Bye. Thank you.